What's up, everybody? I am back after quite a long hiatus. Sorry for the wait, as they would say. Not that there are a lot of people that are really waiting for these videos, but again, I've been meaning to put some more content out, but life has just been busy. So I've been catching up on that, and I figured, hey, I've got a few moments to spare. Let me go ahead and drop a new video today. And today, I think the theme is gonna be, it's gonna be, why can't we all just get along, right? I think if you look at on both sides of the fence, right, you got recent scandals coming out with the Fresh and Fit podcast guys, how they're claiming to be these beta, alpha, whatever males, right? And they can teach guys how to get women, when in all actuality, they were insecure men who used their platform to get women who are impressionable and were really looking for some validation, use that as an opportunity to sleep with them, right? And then you also have these cases where, as I mentioned in my last video with PJ Washington and Brittany Renner, guy gets her pregnant and now she's talking about it's stepdaddy or baby mama season or whatever she's talking about, right? So you get these two extreme opposites. You have women that I would say, hey, writing was on the wall, probably should have avoided that individual. And then you got these really toxic men who are putting out this information to guys like, hey, let me tell you how to get chicks, right? Do XYZ. Basically be a sleazeball and be an asshole and make women feel uncomfortable, and that's what works. But what really stresses me out the most is just how the middle ground, the rational people, are never heard. Things go viral via the algorithm, so the people you see are the individuals that are way down that end of the spectrum, and you wouldn't typically run into them. But you have the toxic man who could be cast as the common man, right? He's the average, right? The prototypical male. And then you got this gold-digging Instagram OnlyFans celebrity or star who only looks for men as an opportunity to get more money, right? It's like, what can I get from you? What type of monetary value can I extract from you, right? You look in these comment sections and you see men saying, oh, yeah, this is why women are this, and men saying, this is why women are this. When the reality is, I mean, if you have a simple person-to-person connection, those things are wonderful and they still exist. But so much of what we do is curated based only on the appearances. And these toxic things have run rampant, and they cause us to just be at odds with one another without realizing, hey, is it just what we're being fed that's influencing our mindset, which ultimately performs a feedback loop and influences our day-to-day experiences, right? So we kind of see that this is self-fulfilling prophecy. Or, you know, why don't we sit down and realize, okay, there are some bad things going on in the world. It's a lot of craziness. I think a lot of humans just aren't able to cope with these number of choices. So it's really hard to pick that one, settle down, etc. Especially if you're able to find yourself favorable. Very lucky to be in a position to do well in life, whatever that means for you, right? I'd say comfortably have a roof over your head. You don't have to worry about where the next meal is coming from. And if you're looking for entertainment, you don't have to scrimp on that, right? And you are able to do that and go to sleep and not worry about how you're gonna make it the next day. I'd say you're pretty fortunate. But again, going back to, you know, everybody's at odds, right? Everything that goes viral is the extreme example of the woman who's asking for, in my opinion, some crazy demands. Maybe somebody else feels like, hey, that's the case, right? It should go. Or the guy who says, hey, the reason you women have problems is because y'all ain't actually letting a guy lead or whatever. Like, if I pay for the meal, then you know what, you got to do what I say. This isn't slavery. You're not property. I would argue that just because your job pays you, you're like, hey, I got these job duties. But outside of that, I'm not going to do those things, right? I'm going to do what I was brought here. But I think personal relationships are not like jobs, right? So to say, I pay you, you do this, that's a bit wild. Now, I will say, and this may be controversial, that there is kind of, and I probably mentioned this in another video, but men and women, our norms, how relationships have progressed and evolved over time, it's been really slow versus the dynamic in what people are able to do in society. So women can make tons of money, right? They can do these things, but you know, the relationship itself is still the expectation that the man needs to be the breadwinner. Personally, I feel that if people were willing to let those norms go and not care so much about what other people thought about them and were only concerned about their own happiness, I feel like we'd be in a much better space, right? it's almost disheartening. You see these videos and people just, oh, it's this. Or they women, women over here failing. But it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm pretty sure there's some solid women who are single and can't find a good guy. But if they're saying that all men are terrible, and then the good guys are saying that the women are terrible, then where are we gonna find ourselves, right? And so I think that's where you just gotta stop. It's just frustrating. I mean, I genuinely am disappointed by that, because there are so many wonderful people that I have met in life and I continue to meet just by going out and having an organic conversation without this curated experience to go on an app and let me see who I can sort through and figure out who this, the one for me, right? Because even myself, when I was on those platforms, you kind of get jaded because people out there seeking attention and validation. But if you expunge that from your mind, just expel that and say, all right, you know what? I am going to approach life from the perspective that yes, people are capable of bad things. People are capable of good things. And to exercise discernment, because I feel at the end of the day, humans are social creatures. COVID taught us that. And they just hate it every day where there's some alpha male bullshit and there's some, all men ain't shit bullshit that's coming from the other side. And the people who are just trying to make a way, those voices aren't being heard because it's the outlandish claims that are being heard. Now, I know there's data that supports and suggests that, certain crimes or violence levels across men versus women is different. Not here to dispute any data. Just saying that at the end of the day, you can't marry everybody. You can't date everybody on the planet. So why not take that opportunity to really say, all right, this is what I want. These are the things that I want, right? And use that opportunity to go out there and be positive in your approach to relationships, as opposed to say, hey, you know what, these people are assholes, they're all terrible. Because as soon as you approach it with that energy, then you know what's gonna happen. Everything after that is gonna be fucking awful. That's just how I feel about it, right? That's just my opinion. I feel like we really need to get out of our heads and stop overthinking things, stop overcomplicating it. Just have a positive outlook. Have a positive mindset to help you get to a better place. And I'm not saying you can't, sulk a little bit or get a little upset or depressed about things from time to time, but just this bickering and this fighting is fucking ridiculous. I mean, personally, that's just my opinion, right? And you've got people on platforms, again, I'll mention Brittany Renner, huge platform. And the crazy thing is, everybody says, hey, you know what, this is terrible what she did. Hey, who she was, it was out there. And she'll probably get another guy to get her pregnant, and she'll probably go to the next one as well, right? They're gonna keep doing it because, hey, as men, we have to exercise discernment. And that goes back to the whole point, which is if you move in a way and understand that your decisions and choices have consequences, and also know that you don't need to let everybody into your life and only make space for the positive people, then your interactions, I feel, would be a lot better. Instead of just allowing everybody who has some bullshit energy to come into your life, then you're frustrated, then you're making everybody upset, yada, 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 and everybody's getting peed off, it makes it worse for everyone. So I implore you today, hey, first of all, focus on some positives, whatever that may be, and also have the mindset that, you know what, these are people. And people are not a time series, right? It's not some regression analysis that says, hey, well, if this person was shitty and this person is gonna be shitty too. Or if these 10 people were terrible, then this next person is gonna be terrible, right? Don't approach it with that mindset. Approach everything as a clean slate and be critical and discerning with your judgment. Don't judge too quickly, but at least exercise a little caution and just say, hey, let me be smart about this without being too pessimistic or being too eagle-eyed on things. Or if you feel like you're gonna keep running into people, look at where you're meeting the people. Maybe it's just that you happen to attract an energy that was an old you and you want to go to something different. Go somewhere else. There are still good people. And I hate when I hear the idea on either side. Women aren't anything, men ain't ish, women don't want to listen, men ain't holding down and doing their responsibility. Look, these things have been going on forever. Technology is exposing a lot of it. So I think if we just have a more positive mindset, it'll be better for everybody. And stop addressing it in in blanket statements like women are this and men are that. Because as a minority, we get upset when people say, well, black people are like this or black people are like that. We get offended. So how about we take that same energy and manage to channel that into our relationships and not assume that everybody is going to be the same just based off the people who came before them. So again, sorry about the wait. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be coming back with more content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check it out, comments below. Let me know your thoughts about this topic, and then let me know your thoughts about potential future videos, right? And as always, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care, and until next time.